Hello students, I am Professor Dheeraj Kumar Singh from Department of Mechanical Engineering, Sagar Group of Institutions, Sistekar, Bhopal. Dear students, today we are going to discuss thermodynamic temperature scale and classes inequality as well as some of the numericals based on it. So, why we are going to discuss today thermodynamic temperature scale? So, let's start the class. So, our first topic is absolute thermodynamic temperature scale. So first of all, what is absolute thermodynamic temperature scale? Basically, dear students, an absolute temperature scale may be constructed by taking the temperature directly proportional to the volume of the gas in a constant pressure gas thermometer, and the scale basically based upon a gas at zero pressure, and it is basically a physical realization of a logically formulated absolute thermodynamic temperature scale, which will be introduced in connection with the second law of thermodynamics basically. And this absolute thermodynamic temperature scale is also known as Kelvin scale, and for ordinary purposes absolute temperatures may be found from the relation degree Celsius equal to 273.15 Kelvin. As we all know that if we want to convert degree Celsius in Kelvin, then we have to apply the formula degree Celsius equal to the amount of temperature plus 273.15 Kelvin. So in that way we will understand the absolute thermodynamic temperature scale. And second reason why we are studying it, we are just trying to make a correlation between heat transfers and temperature. So without knowing the heat transfer, we will be very easily able to find out the efficiency of a heat engine and the COP of any refrigerator or heat pump, right? So the efficiency of any heat engine cycle receiving heat Q1 and rejecting heat Q2 is given by, we all know the formula of efficiency is W net divided by Q1. Q1 is the heat supplied to the heat engine. So it is the input and W net is the output. So W net can be written as the difference of heat supplied minus heat rejected. So Q1 is heat supplied and Q2 is heat rejected. So Q1 minus Q2 divided by Q1. So further we can write it like 1 minus Q2 by Q1. So this will be our equation 1. So basically we are going to make a correlation between heat transfers and temperatures. So by the second law, it is necessary to have temperature difference T1 minus T2 to obtain work from any cycle. We know that the efficiency of all heat engines operating between the same temperature levels is the same, and it is independent of the working substance, right? Therefore, for a reversible cycle, that is Carnot cycle, the efficiency will depend solely upon the temperatures, means T1, T2. This is higher temperature and T2 is a lower temperature at which heat is transferred. So we can write it like that efficiency of reversible cycle is a function of temperatures, higher temperature and lower temperature. So T1 and T2. So reversible engine efficiency can be written as F of T1 and T2, because it is depending on only temperature, not the working substance. So this will be our equation number 2, where F signifies some function of the temperature. Now from equation 1 and 2 we can see here 1 minus Q2 by Q1 is equation 1, and here efficiency reversible equal to function of T1 and T2. So from equation 1 and 2 we can write 1 minus Q2 by Q1 equal to F of T1 comma T2. In terms of new function, if you want to write it, so in terms of new function, that is capital F, Q1 by Q2 is a function of T1 and D2. This is new function, right? This will be our equation number 3. If some functional relationship is assigned between T1 and T2 and Q1 by Q2, the equation becomes the definition of a temperature scale, right? If we are making some relationship to T1 and T2 and Q1 and Q2, then that will become a temperature scale. So let us consider two reversible heat engines. So here this is our heat reservoir T1, and in the downside we can see this is our heat reservoir T3, right? So 3 Carnot's engine we have taken here. This is E1, this is E2, and this is E3. Now we will try to understand and we will try to find out the correlation between Q1 and Q2 and T1 and T3, right? T1 and T2 and T3. So let us consider two reversible heat engines, E1 that is receiving heat from the source at T1. This Q1 heat E1 is receiving from the source T1 and rejecting heat Q2 at T2. ठीक है. So and rejecting heat at T2 to E2. It is rejecting heat Q2 to E2, which in turns reject heat Q3 to this sink T3, right? So we can see here that this heat engine E1 is taking heat or accepting heat Q1, rejecting heat Q2, and this rejected heat Q2 is supplied to this heat engine E2, and this heat engine E2 reject heat Q3 to the reservoir T3, right? So here we can see in turn rejects heat to the sink at T3. Now we can write Q1 by Q2 as function of T1 and T2. This middle temperature is T2, right? Between E1 and E2, this is the temperature T2. So we can write the equation Q1 by Q2 is equal to function of T1 and T2. Similarly, we can write Q2 by Q3 for the second heat engine. Q2 by Q3 is a function of T2 and this sink temperature T3, right? So similarly, we can write for E3 also that Q1 by Q3 equal to function of T1 and T3. So in next slide we can see E1 and E2 together constitute another heat engine E3 operating between T1 and T3, right? So Q1 by Q3 is a function of T1 and T3, and if we want to write again Q1 by Q2, so we can write it like Q1 by Q3 divided by Q2 by Q3. Q3 will get cancelled out. Then what will be remaining? Q1 by Q2 will remaining. So Q1 by Q2 again is a function of T1 and T2, right? And if we will compare this with this equation, then we can see Q1 by Q2 equal to function of T1 T3 and function of T2 T3, because from here we can see that this one is 2 3 and the numerator is 1 3, so T1 T3 and T2 T3. The temperatures T1 T2 T3 are arbitrarily chosen. The ratio Q1 by Q2 depends only on T1 and T2 and is independent of T3, right? Because T3 got cancelled out. So T3 will drop out from the ratio on the right hand side in the equation number 4, right? So T3 we will drop out T3, right? And after it has been cancelled, the numerator can be written as phi of T1 and denominator as phi of T2. We have taken a new function where phi is another unknown function. Thus Q1 by Q2 is a function of T1 by T2 equal to phi of T1 divided by phi of T2. So finally, since phi t is an arbitrary function, the simplest possible way to define the absolute thermodynamic temperature T is to let phi t is equal to T as proposed by Kelvin. So by definition we can write it Q1 by Q2 equal to T1 by T2 if we have assumed phi T1 as temperature T1 and phi 2 as temperature T2. So by the definition we can write here that Q1 by Q2 is equal to T1 by T2, and this will be our equation number 5. So this was the expression which we wanted to find finally. So now we are having a relation in equation number 5. We can see it Q1 by Q2 is equal to T1 by T2. This absolute thermodynamic temperature scale is also known as Kelvin scale. So finally we have seen that our absolute thermodynamic temperature scale is basically a way to find out the relation between heat transfers and the temperature sources and temperature sinks. So Q1 by Q2 equal to T1 by T2. Now we will be able to find out the efficiency of reversible heat engine. Earlier, how we were finding out the efficiency of reversible heat engine? Earlier we were finding out by the help of heat transfer, right? But now we can very easily find it out by the help of temperatures. So here we can see The efficiency of a reversible heat engine in which heat is received solely at T1 to be found to be, this is the heat engine and we are getting heat from temperature T1 here. This is the higher temperature and this is TL is lower temperature. So work output is Q1 minus Q2 here, right? The difference between higher heat supplied minus heat rejected is our W net work transfer. So reversible efficiency, or we can say the efficiency of reversible heat engine, is also known as maximum efficiency. Why? Because we know none cycle other than Carnot cycle can give the efficiency, right, higher efficiency. So we know that Carnot cycle is a cycle which will give the highest efficiency working on the same temperature difference, same temperature source and sinks. So reversible efficiency of reversible heat engine is also known as maximum efficiency. So the formula is 1 minus Q2 by Q1 reversible. We know that. So we can write this Q2 by Q1 as T2 by T1. How we can write? By the absolute thermodynamic temperature scale. By the help of absolute thermodynamic temperature scale, we can write it like that. So now our reversible heat engine efficiency will become T1 minus T2 by T1. What is T1? T1 is higher temperature. What is T2? T2 is lower temperature. So we can write it easily, T higher minus T lower divided by T higher. Now this will be our new efficiency of reversible heat engine in terms of temperature. Earlier we were writing it like Q1 minus Q2 by Q1. Now we will write it like as TH minus TL by TH. So it is observed here that as T2 decreases, for an example here we can see as T2 decreases and T1 increases, the efficiency of the reversible cycle increases. If numerator will decrease, then the whole value will decrease, and the whole value decreases, then obviously 1 minus a decreasing value, then the overall efficiency will increase. So that's why here it is written as T2 decreases and T1 increases, the efficiency of the reversible cycle engine increases. As we know, efficiency cannot be 100% and it will be always less than unity. So T2 is always greater than 0. Means heat rejection or lower temperature will always greater than 0 and positive, so that our efficiency will not become less than unity, right? Always it is always less than unity, so that will not become 100% because we know there are some losses, so it will not be possible. So T2 will be positive and T2 will be not 0, right? So T2 will be always greater than 0 and positive. So this was the efficiency of reversible heat engine. Similarly, we want to find the COP of heat pump and refrigerator. So we can see the diagram here. Refrigerator, this is refrigerator work input. Here I have forgotten to give the arrows in the upward side. So arrows will be in upward direction here. Right means this refrigerator is accepting heat from lower temperature T2 and rejecting heat to higher temperature, that is T1. So COP of refrigerator, we know that desired effect divided by work input. So desired effect here will be Q2 means heat transfer from this lower temperature, and the heat accepted by the refrigerator is our desired effect here. So Q2 by Q1 minus Q2 equal to when so what we have done, we have divided the whole numerator and denominator by Q2. So 1 divided by Q1 by Q2 minus 1. So we can write for a reversible refrigerator by using this equation Q1 by Q2 equal to T1 by T2. So we can write it like that, 1 divided by T1 by T2 minus 1. So that this T2 will go in numerator and the expression will become like this, T1 by T1 minus T2, and T2 is our T lower and T1 is T higher and T2 is T lower. So we can again write COP of refrigerator is TL by TH minus TL. Similarly, for a reversible heat pump, here desired effect is Q2. So for heat pump, desired effect will be Q1. So Q1, that means T1, right? So COP of reversible heat pump is T1 by T1 minus T2, or COP of heat pump we can write T higher divided by T higher minus T lower. So this is our coefficient of performance for reversible heat pump. Now dear students, we will move to Clausius inequality. Actually Clausius was a scientist and he has given some relations relations according to his theory, that what is the relation between heat transfer, temperature, right? So which cycle will be reversible and which cycle will be irreversible. So he has given an inequality, right? So we have to study that inequality. So what he said? He said the cyclic integral, he said the cyclic integral of del q by t is less than or equal to 0. Clausius said the cyclic integral of heat transfer divided by temperature will always be less than or equal to 0. So he has given two terms here. He has told us that cyclic integral of del q by t, once it will be less than 0 and once it will be equal to 0. So what are these two cases? So first case is cyclic integral of del q by t is less than 0, then cycle is irreversible, right? And when del q by t is equal to 0, then cycle is reversible. That means when the ratio of heat transfer and temperature will become equal to 0, then cycle will be known as reversible cycle, and when that ratio will become less than 0, then cycle will be known as irreversible cycle. So now we will see and prove that what Clausius has said, what is the significance of these expressions. So we have taken in case 1 a reversible cycle. So it is our reversible cycle, that is heat engine. Heat is accepting from the higher source Q1 and rejecting to the lower sink, that is Q2, and work is producing W net Q1 minus Q2, right? So we can write according to Clausius equation, that is cyclic integral of del Q by T. So we can write for heat engine, right? So we know from thermodynamic temperature scale Q1 by Q2 equal to T1 by T2, and we can write it as Q1 by T1 equal to Q2 by T2. So then we have written the Clausius inequality equation for heat engine. So that is cyclic integral reversible del Q by T is equal to whatever the heat accepted by heat engine and whatever the heat rejected by the heat engine. We are going to take these two into account. So Q1 is the heat supplied to the heat engine, so that will be positive, and Q2 is the heat rejected from the heat engine, then we will take it as negative. So del Q by T, we have taken Q1 by T1 positive because heat is supplied to the system, plus minus Q2 by T2 because heat is rejected from the heat engine, so that will be in minus. So integral del Q by T, reversible del Q by T equal to Q1 by T1 minus Q2 by T2, and we can write Q2 by T2 as Q1 by T1. Here we have already seen, right? So these two expressions are same, so these two expressions will get cancelled out, and our final expression integral, closed integral del Q by T, cyclic integral del Q by T is equal to 0, and that has been proved here. So for reversible cycle, cyclic integral del Q by T is equal to 0. Now we have to prove for irreversible cycle that cyclic integral of del Q by T is less than 0. So let's see. So we have taken a irreversible cycle. So this is our source T1, higher temperature, and this is our sink T2, lower temperature. So we have used one reversible heat engine and one irreversible heat engine, right? So in reversible heat engine, we have supplied heat Q1 to the heat engine, and rejected heat is Q2 reversible. But in irreversible cycle, the same amount of heat is coming, but the rejected heat is something different, that is Q2 irreversible, right? That is irreversible heat transfer, right? So this is irreversible cycle. So as we have already studied that efficiency of reversible cycle will be greater than irreversible cycle working on same temperature difference or working on same temperature source and sink. So we know we can write it that efficiency of 1 is greater than efficiency of 2. Yes, obviously we can write, because we have already studied the reversible cycle efficiency is greater than irreversible cycle efficiency. So for efficiency 1, we can write W1 by Q1, that is net work divided by heat supplied. So for for this reversible cycle, W1 by Q1, and for irreversible cycle we can write W2 by Q1. So W2 by Q1. So W1 by Q1 is greater than W2 by Q1, and Q1 is same, so we can cancel out Q1 and Q1. So now what we have, W1 is greater than W2. That means net work by reversible heat engine is greater than net work by irreversible heat engine. So that means if W1 is more, that means Q2 reversible is less than Q2 irreversible, because if you are producing more work, then less heat is rejecting, and if you are producing less work, then more heat is rejecting here, right? So by understanding this, we can write Q2 irreversible is greater than Q2 reversible. Once again, I am trying to make you understand that why this Q2 irreversible is greater than Q2 reversible, because W1 is greater than W2. So if W1 will be greater, that means this Q2 is less, and if W2 is less, then that means this Q2 will be more. Why? Because the heat supplied is same. So where will be the change? Change will be in the Q2 reversible and Q2 irreversible. So Q2 irreversible is greater than Q2 reversible. Now we have again applied our Clausius equation, that is cyclic integral of irreversible del Q by T is equal to, so we can see here, plus Q1 by T1. We have applied this for irreversible cycle, right? So heat supplied to the system is Q1 by T1, okay, minus plus this is the heat rejected. So heat rejected from the system is taken as negative. So minus Q2 irreversible by T2. Again that Q1 by T1 we have written as it is, minus Q2 irreversible by T2. So as we know, Q1 by T1 is Q2 by T2. Here we can see Q1 by T1 by absolute thermodynamic temperature scale, we can write Q1 by T1 equal to Q2 by T2. So here we have written Q2 by T2 minus Q2 irreversible by T2, and T2 is common in denominator, so we can take Q2 common. So what we have written, Q2 minus Q2 irreversible. So we can see here that Q2 is Q2 reversible, and we know that Q2 irreversible is more than Q2 reversible, means that numerator expression will become negative if we will subtract Q2 reversible minus Q2 irreversible. So when it will become negative, that means the cyclic integral of irreversible del Q by T is less than 0. So hence we have proved this also, that cyclic integral of del Q by T for irreversible cycle is less than 0. So these particular two expressions Clausius has given us. Now let's move to the numerical. This is a very beautiful numerical based on Clausius theorem, right, or heat engine. So a reversible heat engine operates between 600 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius. This engine drives a reversible refrigerator operating between 40 degrees Celsius and minus 18 degrees Celsius. Still, there is a net work output of 370 kilojoule. The heat received by the engine is 2100 kilojoule. Determine the cooling effect, that is desired effect of the refrigerator. So here we can see in the question, we have given one heat engine and one refrigerator, and by the help of that heat engine, this refrigerator is running, right? So this heat engine is working between temperature differences 600 and 40 degrees Celsius. So higher temperature is 600 degrees Celsius and lower temperature is 40 degrees Celsius. So we will change this temperature in Kelvin. So for converting degrees Celsius into Kelvin, we have to add 600 with 273. So here we have added it, and now the new temperature will become 873 Kelvin. Similarly, in the sink also 40 degrees Celsius will get converted into 313 Kelvin. So in the question here it is given that heat received by the engine is 2100 kilojoule. This heat engine is receiving Q1 2100 kilojoule, right? And we do not know what is the value of Q2, heat rejected by the heat engine. But here in the question it is given the net work output of 370 kilojoule. So here net work output, that means by the help of this W net by heat engine, this reversible refrigerator is operating. So W1 minus W2 is given 370 kilojoule. W1 is the net work output by the heat engine, and W2 is the work input to the refrigerator. So the difference of W1 and W2 is given 370 kilojoule. Here this refrigerator is working between 40 degrees Celsius and minus 18 degrees Celsius. So 40 degrees Celsius can be converted into 313 Kelvin, and 18 degrees Celsius can be converted into 255 Kelvin. So Q3 is the heat absorbed by the refrigerator, and Q4 is the heat rejected by the refrigerator. So final question was asked, determine the cooling effect by the refrigerator. So desired effect is this Q3. So we have to find out this Q3, because this is our storage place from which we are taking out the heat. So this is our Q3 is our desired effect. So we have to find it out Q3. So we have Q1, but we do not have Q2 and Q3. So we have to find out Q3. So how we will be able to find out Q3? So for finding out Q3, we should be able to know W1 and W2. If we know W2 and W1 and Q2, then we will be very easily able to find out Q3. Let's see how. So by the thermodynamic temperature scale equation, we can write Q1 by Q2 equal to T1 by T2. So we know T1, and this is our T2, this is our Q1, and this is our Q2. So here Q2 is unknown. So we will find it out Q2. So Q1 is 2100, Q2 is as it is. T1 is 873 Kelvin and T2 is 313 Kelvin. So we have found out Q2 as 753 kilojoule. Now we know work output or W net of heat engine if we want to find out. So W1 is equal to Q1 minus Q2. So we will be very easily able to find out W1, because now we have the value of Q2. So Q1 is 2100 minus Q2 is 753. So W1, we have found out W1. So the value of W1 is 1347 kilojoule. Now we can very easily able to find out W2, because here we know W net and we know W1. So we can find it out W2 from here. So from the formula, W net equal to W1 minus W2, 370 kilojoule, right? So W net is 370, W1 is 1347 minus W2. So now we have W2 977 kilojoule. And if we want to find the COP of the refrigerator, then the formula of COP of refrigerator is desired effect divided by work input. So our desired effect is Q3 and work input is W2. So the formula of COP of reversible refrigerator will be Q3 divided by W2. So here we can see coefficient of performance of reversible refrigerators Q3 by W2, and we know we can again we can write it by the help of the formula we have derived here earlier. Let's see. This is the formula we have derived earlier here for COP of refrigerator. That is, this is the equation Q2 by Q1 minus Q2, and final, what is the COP of refrigerator? This is T lower divided by T higher minus T lower. So by this formula we can apply here T lower divided by T higher minus T lower. So again we will see what is T lower. T lower is our 255 Kelvin and T higher is 313 Kelvin. So Q3 by W2 equal to T lower divided by T higher minus T lower, and we have to find out T3 finally here. So Q3 divided by W2, we know 977 kilojoule, and T lower is 255, T higher is 313 minus T lower 255. Finally, after solving the equation, we will be able to get Q3 equal to 4295 kilojoule, which is our desired effect of the refrigerator. So we wanted to find out Q3, and finally we have got Q3. So this is our answer. This is our desired effect. It means that much heat refrigerator want to extract from the storage place to make that storage place cool. So that's all for the today's class, dear students. Thank you.